Namaste friends, and welcome back to the Way Om Yoga. My name is Sarah and I'm going to be guiding you through your practice today. So today's class we are going to be focusing on our peak pose, wild thing, otherwise known as Karasana. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I've actually have never heard a teacher use the Sanskrit name for that pose, so hopefully I pronounced that somewhat correctly, but it's wild thing pose is what we're going to be working on. Before we get started though, if you have any props nearby, my prop recommendation for this class would be just simply a yoga block. If you have a set, more power to you, but I would definitely keep that handy near the front of your mat as we just kind of go along with some of this like upper body opening. It might be beneficial to have something like that nearby, so go ahead and grab that. But we're gonna get right into it. We're gonna come into child's pose to start. And you all know in my classes, you never need permission to take child's pose. So at any point, if you just simply need some rest, if you need to come back to your breath, if you need to recalibrate in any way, child's pose is just a really good one to come back to if you need that. Now we're going to be moving pretty quickly through this class. This is sort of a condensed version of a live class that I taught this week. So I hope you enjoyed this just as much as my students did. From here, we're going to add on. So you can stay just as you are in child's pose, or if you want to walk those fingertips over to the right-hand corner of your mat, just getting this nice side stretch here through the left side of your body, staying for an inhale and exhale. We'll stay for one more on an inhale. Exhale. On your next inhalation, we'll come back through center. Exhale, we'll take this over towards the left-hand corner this time. Just settling in here. And we'll just stay for a couple more rounds of breath, starting on an inhale. And exhale. One more inhale. And exhale. On your next inhalation, we'll come back up through center. Exhale all the air out completely. And then from here, let's make our way into tabletop pose. We're just gonna flow through a few rounds of cat and cow pose, so take these at your own pace. If you need a reminder of what cat and cow looks like, you could look up here. So as I inhale, I'm gonna start to arch through my spine. My gaze comes forward, that's an inhale. And then exhale, I'm gonna reverse all that. I'm gonna dome the spine, I'm gonna draw the low belly in for cat pose. And again, just flowing through this at your own pace. You don't have to be following me exactly. Just a gentle warm up for the spine, just to get us going here. And a couple more rounds. Nice and easy. Go ahead and make this your last set. We'll meet back in a neutral spine, tabletop pose. Beautiful. From a neutral spine here, let's go ahead and add on. So I'm going to kickstand my right foot out to the side. I'm going to start to transfer my weight into the right knee and into my right palm. You can walk that hand up just a few inches for support if you need that. From here, I'm going to make my way into a modified side plank pose here, and I'll turn this way just so you can see from this direction what this looks like. So kickstanding my right foot out, shifting my weight into the right hand, I'm pressing through the outer edge of my left foot, left hand comes up, gaze can come up towards the ceiling or just straight ahead, okay? And we'll hold here for an inhale and exhale. On your next inhalation, let's come back into tabletop before we take the other side, okay? So coming back into tabletop pose, take a moment if you need to get off the wrist. I'm gonna turn back this way so you can see me from the left side. So on your next inhalation, we'll kickstand the left foot out again, and then we'll start to transfer our weight into the left side body. So left knee, palm of the left hand. And again, just taking your head or your gaze in whatever direction feels good for you. Opening up through the body here. And then once again, on your next inhale, we'll come back into tabletop. So you have some options here, friends. You can either come into child's pose again, or you could take puppy pose with me. So we're really trying to open up through the front of the body here for Wild Thing. So if you want to take puppy pose, you're going to walk your hands out in front of you. Notice that my elbows are lifted off the mat. I walk my hands a little bit further apart for this one just to accommodate my shoulders. I'm going to rest my forehead on the mat, and of course you can always take a yoga block in front of you to make this happen too. That feels really nice if you need that. And then notice I'm drawing the tailbone back. So my glutes are off my heels, but I'm drawing the tailbone back towards the back wall. And yeah, already I'm starting to feel this in the head, neck, and shoulders, across the upper back here, but only if this feels good for you. You can always take child's pose, okay? And we're not gonna be here long. We're just gonna stay here for another inhale and exhale. Beautiful. On your next inhalation, let's come back through tabletop pose. And from tabletop, we're gonna make our way into our first downward facing dog of the class. So, hands are about shoulder distance apart. I'm gonna lift my knees off the mat. I'm gonna draw my hips back towards the back wall, and just nice and easy, any amount of movement. If you wanna pedal out those feet, maybe extend one leg back behind you, then the other, just whatever feels good right now. No need to force the heels to come down onto the mat. I would rather you keep kind of like a bend in those knees and just play around with moving, okay? We're not that warmed up yet. And coming back to your breath on your next inhale and exhale. And like I mentioned, we're gonna move through this pretty quickly. So on your next inhalation, right leg comes up and back. As you exhale, let's come into down dog with a twist. So I'm bending the right knee, right foot goes over towards the left wall here. If you wanna roll out the ankle, you're welcome to, or just simply stay put here for the stretch. And then on your next inhalation, we're gonna straighten that back leg, coming into three-legged dog. As you exhale, we're gonna get a touch for the core here. As you exhale, let's come forward through plank, but drawing the right knee in towards your nose. Inhale, we'll come back into three-legged dog. Exhale, this time, right knee, right tricep. We're in the direction of it. Inhale, lift it back up. Exhale, cross it over, right knee, left tricep. Inhale, we'll lift it back up, three-legged dog. Exhale, step the right foot forward, setting the back knee down. We're coming into our first low lunge of the class. So if you have a set of blocks, perfect. If you want to use one, you can also keep your fingertips on the mat, maybe the top of the thigh. But otherwise, if you're with me, let's go ahead and rise up here in our first lunge. Holding for an inhale and exhale. Now we're gonna take this into the side of the body here in just a moment. So if you wanna play around with the props, you can grab a block. I'm gonna set my block to the outside of my right hip here. And I'm gonna reach with the left palm up and over towards the right wall here, getting into the side of the body again. Good, we'll hold for an inhale and exhale. And then we're gonna switch sides. So I like to take my block up above me. And then we're gonna reach up and over towards the left wall this time. Beautiful. Staying for an inhale and exhale. On your next inhalation, let's bring those fingertips back onto the mat here. We're coming up into a half split. So on your next inhalation, we'll bend through the right knee. Exhale, flex that foot. We're gonna draw the hips back into half Hanuman, half split. And notice again, I have that micro bend, if you can see that there, in my right knee. No need to lock out that leg. And then we're just gonna move dynamically in and out of this pose. So as you inhale, rebend. Exhale, extend. Nice and easy. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale, rebend. This time as you inhale, rebend that front knee, set your block off to the side. So yogi's choice, you can either take a round of vinyasa or you can skip it. You can meet us back in down dog or child's pose. That's always an option, okay? So from here, if you're with me, let's make our way into plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra pose. Exhale, we'll make our way back into downward facing dog. Taking a moment here before we get the other side. On your next inhalation, left leg comes up and back. Exhale, we'll bend the left knee here, down dog with the twist. Very good. And then as you inhale, it's three-legged dog. Exhale, left knee straight down the middle. Inhale, it's three-legged dog. Exhale, left knee, left tricep. Inhale, lift it back up. Exhale, cross it over, right tricep. Inhale, lift it back up, friends. Exhale, we'll draw the left foot forward in between the hands, coming back into that lunge. So you know what to do. We've already touched on this before. So find your balance here, bending through that front knee, and as you're ready, we'll root to rise up. Beautiful. And then let's take this over towards the side this time. So I'm gonna take my block into my left hand. I'm gonna reach through my right palm up and over towards the left wall here. Staying on the inhale. And exhale. And then once again, we'll take this over to the opposite direction here. So block goes in the right hand. Left palm comes up and over. Staying for an inhale. And exhale. On your next inhalation, let's meet with the fingertips on the mat or on a set of blocks for support, whatever you need. And then once again, we'll bend the front knee as you inhale. Exhale, half split. Inhale, rebend. Exhale, half split. Inhale, rebend. Exhale, half split. One more time, inhale, rebend. Set your props off to the side. Again, yogi's choice. If you want to take the vinyasa, take the vinyasa. Otherwise, meet us in down dog or child's. And if you'd like, if you don't want to take cobra pose, you can come up into up dog. So keeping the knees off the mat before you roll back into downward facing dog. And of course, friends, if you need to take a moment, take child's pose. But again, we're gonna add on, we're moving kind of quickly through this. All right, on your next inhalation, right leg is up and back, three-legged dog. Exhale, we'll bend the right knee. Coming into down dog with a twist. And again, same combination. As you inhale, it's three-legged dog. Exhale, right knee straight down the middle towards your nose. Inhale, lift it back up. Exhale, right knee, right tricep. Inhale, lift it back up. Exhale, cross it over towards your left tricep this time. Inhale, lift it back up. This time as you exhale, we're gonna step the right foot forward once again, this time opening up into warrior two. And again, I will face this direction just so it's easier to see what I'm doing. And I'm gonna bring my block to the outer edge of my right foot here for later. From warrior two, let's take this into reverse as you inhale. Reverse warrior. Exhale, right forearm comes to the top of that right thigh, reaching up and over with the left palm for reverse. Inhale. Sorry, reverse warrior into extended side angle pose. Good. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, once again, reverse. This time as you exhale, let's straighten that front leg, coming into triangle pose. So this is where the block will come in handy here as we open up through the front of the body. And again, taking the gaze where it feels comfortable. That could be forward, up towards the ceiling, towards that hand. You can take the gaze down. All right. So adding on from here, I want us to challenge our balance here a little bit. So if you need to look up here for just a moment, I'm gonna demonstrate half moon. So I'm gonna bend my front knee, my right knee in this case. I'm gonna walk my left foot in just a touch. I'm gonna find a focal point on the floor that I can just look at for focus and balance. I'm gonna bring my block just to the outside of the right foot here. I'm gonna place my hand into my prop and notice I'm shifting my weight forward as I keep that right knee bent. Now, this is what half moon looks like, right friends? However, half moon could be, you know, a configuration of this. So maybe half split with just the left foot off the mat, or maybe just testing your balance like so. So I just want you to challenge yourself here and have a little bit of fun, okay? If it's in your practice, you can reach back for the inside of the left foot, pressing the foot into the hand. And this will get into the upper body and shoulders as well. All right. On your next inhalation, let's come back into warrior two. So starting to rebend the front knee, the right knee, taking your time. If you want to get the vinyasa, last vinyasa on the right side. And again, upward facing dog or cobra, whatever you feel called to do. All right. And then once again, I'm going to turn this way so I can demonstrate what we're gonna get into on the left side. So one more side to get into, friends. So once again, let's meet in downward facing dog. Left leg comes up and back. Down dog with a twist. Left knee bends. As you inhale, we'll straighten that leg up and back. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, lift it back up. Exhale, left knee, left tricep. Inhale, bring it back up. Exhale, cross it over. Inhale, lift it up and back. Exhale, let's come into warrior two this time. Left foot's forward, block is nearby. As we windmill, the arms open for warrior two. On an inhale, we'll take this over into reverse. Exhale, extended side angle pose. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, extended. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, straighten the front leg. Coming into triangle. Using that block for support. We'll hold here for another inhale. And exhale. Now coming into half moon on the left side this time, so bending through that left knee, walking the right foot back in just a touch. I'm gonna move back just so I'm in the frame here. All right. And then once again, just starting to test your balance. I find that flexing through that right foot helps me maintain my balance here. And again, this could be like a half split today, friends, okay? Or just some configuration of half moon. And if you're feeling it, you can grab onto the inside edge of the right foot, getting into the upper body, getting into the shoulder, pressing the foot into the hand. And then once again, making our way back into warrior two. Last vinyasa if you want to get it. Or meet us in down dog. And again, you can take cobra, coming all the way back onto your belly if you'd like, or upward facing dog, yogi's choice. And actually, really briefly, let's just come into child's pose for just a moment. You definitely earned it. Come back to your breath. All right, so I want you to take a moment here, friends, just to simply catch your breath, and I'm going to show you some ways that you can approach wild things. So we're getting right into it. So one way that you can modify this pose is by coming into that side plank that we did at the beginning of class. So once again, starting from tabletop, I'm going to kickstand my right leg out to the side here. I'm going to shift my weight into the palm of the right hand, and I'm going to turn my hips kind of like to the left hand corner here, and I'm going to lift my chest up towards the ceiling. Left hand comes just straight up and back. And this could be wild thing for today, right? So that's one way you can approach it. Another way is from downward facing dog. So I'll show you that on the right side here. So we're coming into a three-legged dog, and then we'll take down dog with the twist. Now, watch carefully here. I'm gonna start to bring my weight into the left hand, and look at my left foot here. It's turning, 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 pivoting, 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 and then I'm going to stamp the ball of my right foot, I don't know if you can see that here, onto the mat. Now, of course, you can lift up your hips from here, reaching that right arm just straight up and back behind you, rotating through the chest. But what I like to do, once I have my foot here on the outside of my yoga mat, what I like to do is just sit down just like I am, kind of readjust myself, and then use my feet as support and as leverage to press up. So from the seated position, I don't know, I just feel like I have a little bit more control, a little bit more strength to pull up into Wild Thing pose. Okay, so let's go ahead and try that once again. So we'll do the right side first, and then we'll get into the left side, okay? So again, modified variation. You'll start off by coming into modified side plank here, taking that variation, or if you're with me, let's come into down dog. Once again, from downward facing dog, we'll come into down dog with the twist. And again, starting to rotate, rotate, rotate. Nice and slow and controlled. If you're like me, I'd like to take a moment to sit down. And then once again, pressing up through the feet, through the hips, reaching back with the right arm. Wild Thing. Beautiful. Stay for an inhale. And nice and slow as you exhale. Let's come out of it. Take a moment, get off the wrist here for a second before we get the other side. I love Wild Thing pose. There's just something so elegant about it. It just looks just so beautiful. Actually, according to a study in Yoga Journal that I saw, it can help alleviate, anxiety and depression. And so any type of upper body movement, expansive movement that we're doing really can raise your energy levels. So once again from here, let's go ahead and get into the left side. So I'm going to show you the modification version first. So if you are taking the modified side plank, you're going to go ahead and come into tabletop, kickstand your left leg out to the side, coming into that side plank. And then from here, turning the hips out towards the side, turning your chest up towards the ceiling, reaching back. Good. All right. You know what? Yes, that is it. Okay, and then from here, we're gonna go ahead and take this on the left side this time. So, from downward facing dog, bringing that left leg up and back behind you, coming into down dog with the twist. And then notice I'm just distributing my weight into the right palm, pivoting, pivoting, pivoting on my right leg. I'm on the ball of the left foot. Again, you could press up. I like to sit down and then approach it this way. Good. Staying for another inhale. And then exhale. We'll slowly come out of the pose. Yes, take a minute here, get off the wrist. So like I said, I'm kind of giving you the condensed Cliff Note version of Wild Thing pose. So you're definitely warmed up. If you want to get a couple more rounds of this or just continue practicing, you're more than welcome to. Otherwise, if this is all the time that you have, I want to do just a couple of stretches with you just to help you cool down just a little bit. So if you're ready to move on, let's go ahead and just bring the feet straight out in front of you. So we're going to come into a seated forward fold here. Just slowing the breath down. And then from here, I like to just bring my block along with me just for some support to rest my forehead. So if that's you, you're welcome to take that. And then just taking a moment just to slow the breath down.
And getting into the hamstrings, getting into the legs, getting into the spine.
Reversing all of that upper body expansion we did.
And you know, as we are approaching these hot summer months, friends, any type of pose where the head is below heart level, it can have a very pacifying, it can have a very cooling effect on the body. So definitely some good stretches, some good poses to add into your yoga routine. And again, briefly, I just want to go through one more with you. We're just going to take this into straddle, okay? So if you want to bring that block along with you, this time we'll bring the feet apart here and just only going as far as the body allows. I want you just to relax here, and we'll start to hinge forward from the waist here for straddle pose. Again, just slowing the breath down, allowing the body to cool down. And again, normally in, you know, my hour-long classes or in-person classes, we would allow for more time to cool down. We would allow for some more time for Shavasana.
All right, beautiful friends. So if this is all the time that you're working with today, I want to close off practice with you. And again, you're definitely warm if you want to continue on in your practice. If you want to get a couple more rounds of Wild Thing, you're welcome to. Otherwise, if this is all the time that you have, I want to just thank you for being here with me today. Thank you for sharing your practice in this beautiful space with me. And until next time, namaste. Bye, friends.